Mic aux, headphones. Should be able to hear you now. Test for us, Aqua, real
Excellent.
quick. Yes, excellent,
Hello.
perfect. Hello, anyone who is tuning in for some Lancer stuff today. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Aqua. We will have a Ray here eventually, as we have some complications. We might be doing some rescheduling on my end. This stream might end up on Tuesdays, calling it TTRPG Tuesdays or something. But as we're transitioning, I am going to be unloading my hyperfixation onto the chat. I will be just non-stop about this until I learn the game in its entirety, back and forth. I've been really enjoying getting around to it. Eventually I'll get to play it. But until then, we run it. And today, I will be walking my lovely friend Aqua through making a character. I
Yeah.
think that is the easiest way to get into the Lancer setting, because making a character will draw you to a lot of the questions and lead you to a lot of the lore bits in regards to the media, if you kind of get what I mean. The way it lays itself out, it really lends itself well to character creation being the primary aspect of the game. I think something that really sets this game apart from a lot of other games is how clearly it focuses on the players. The intention of the game right out the gate is you are Lancers. You aren't just a mech pilot. You aren't just a soldier. You aren't a guy. You're a Lancer. You are one of the best mech pilots in the galaxy. And that is something you really have to sink into your head. Pretty much every other enemy, except for very special ones that a DM might make, every other enemy is going to have one structure, which means when you take it to 0 HP, hull points, it goes down. It explodes. When you're a Lancer, when you go to 0 HP, you roll a d6 for something to happen. You have 4 structure. Something bad can seriously happen, and you can blow up your mech after once. Really rare, but it does happen on occasion. But even then, your Lancer doesn't die. The only time your Lancer dies is if you, the player, agree that that is where your Lancer dies. Because there are a lot of ways in the setting to work around it. The Lancers are basically this world's... Yeah, right, Vaughn. It's this world's word for Raven. Raven being the armored core term for expert pilot. Ravens were the deciding factor in pretty much every war in the Armored Core universe, and are the deciding force in every game. Pretty much every game, not everyone, but pretty much every game you play as a Raven. And so the game focusing around Lancers, it's meant to give that same sort of feel, right? I love a lot of other mech content. This game is so clearly heavily inspired by Armored Core that it is intrinsically represented in so much of their stuff. Other pieces of media that this game really, really takes reference to or pays homage to is Evangelion. There's quite a lot of eldritch horror in this setting. And the way that they blend the difference between AI and godlike entities is really fascinating. Some people worship certain AI as gods. That's a whole section in the fucking book and in the lore. I think one of my favorite pieces is that straight up like an angel in Evangelion, there is an AI that summoned a massive just pylon above a city, communicated with only a certain group within the city, and then just fucking disappeared. They're known as the Godhead. The sapient AIs that are akin to Godhead are called the Godhead, which again is just a straight up Berserk reference.
Right.
So
I
this
was like,
game,
wait a second.
this game wears its fucking inspirations on its sleeve, and I
Nice.
really, really love it for that. Right? I
Yeah.
really, really think that it does a good job at that. And Tom Parkinson Morgan has been very clear that things like Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, they also massive inspiration. And Dune, even like Dune pays this game. This game pays massive homage to Dune, with
Okay.
how like you can run addiction and how that kind of thing can work. And I think my favorite, which is if you saw the one shot that I ran on Connor's channel, anyone who's watching, my favorite piece of lore is the Karakan trade baronies, which is the last holdout of capitalism in the setting, and
Hmm.
they're like the straight up villain. It's so good. The way that they're handled, the way that they're depicted, the way that it talks about it. But again, I could gush about this. I could just do this for like 2 hours. So I'm going to avoid doing that. I'm gonna walk
Okay.
through the core book with you. And we're going to do this in a truncated way so that we can make it through it in like 3 hours. Because reading everything front to back, it would take a lot more than that. And there's also a lot to it.
Okay.
But I do think the getting started, absolutely worth reading. So we're going to start. We are going to start there. There's a lot here to look at. A lot of the GM's toolkit we're not going to necessarily need to go through. The compendium we will go through at some. We will go through mech combat. I don't think we will touch on too much. I
Yeah.
might run a tester combat. If we come back to Lancer, I might run a tester combat for you to show you how it works
Hmm.
once you build your mech. Building mechs and pilots we will touch on. Missions, uptime, and downtime we will not probably touch on, other than this first section, the first session part. We may touch on a little bit of the extra books and the character sheet. I have all of the expansions, so I'm happy to show them off, and I do not feel bad about showing them off because I have the open license for them. But I will we'll get there when we get there.
Nice. Nice.
Uh, any mech you see in the art you can play, which is something I appreciate. They have a way to set it up so you can play it. But introduction. It is 5016U. The galaxy is home to trillions. At the core of humanity's territory, there's a golden age. But outside of this newly won utopia, the revolutionary project continues. You are a Lancer, an exceptional mech pilot among the exceptional peers. And you live at a time where the future hangs as a spinning coin at the apex of a toss. The fall is coming, and how the coin lands is yet to be determined. Far now from our humble beginnings, humanity has spread out among and between the stars for thousands of years. We have set empty worlds and barren moons alight with civilization, tamed asteroids and gas giants, even built lives in the hard vacuum of space itself. We have taken root in our arm of the Milky Way. Life, in its infinite diversity, thrives and expands. For some, life in this time is as a river, forever moving, with the land and time of their birth left somewhere far behind. For most, life is spent on their homeworld, moon, or station, linked to the rest of humanity via fantastic technologies, or isolated to the politics, stories, and histories of their own land. The trillions that make up humanity live, for the most part, as you or I do now. But wonders tie the galaxy together in this age. Connecting all worlds is blink space. An unknowably vast and strange plane parallel to the one we live, pierced by blink gates that allow us to travel with speed and safety. Thanks to these massive, starbound doors, every corner of space is open to the daring. These portals are common wonders. Thousands of ships travel through them every day, seeking trade, migration, travel, war, and myriad other aims. Filling the lonely void is the OmniNet, a data sharing network built off the Blink that connects every computer, every server, everything to everything else. The OmniNet is much more than a way to send messages or a means for people on far-flung worlds to read the galaxy's news. It overlays all human connections and communications, facilitating government, industry, culture, and realms more esoteric. Data is the new wealth, and the OmniNet means that all wealth can be shared. The vast mass of humanity is administered from a single sprawling government, Union, the galactic hegemony. Luna and Mars, Mercury and Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune and Uranus, Phosphos and Deimos, Io, Europa, Ganymede and Callisto, Titan and Elatus. These worlds, strung in their orbit around Sol, are the diadem atop which Cradle rests, the seat of Union's power and humanity's ancient heart. From Cradle, Union controls the three levers of the galaxy: the Blink Gates, the OmniNet, and Mana. Without these levers and without Union, the galaxy would fall into chaos. Union is a new kind of utopia, a new state, communal and post-capital, for a new humanity. Union was born from the ashes and ice of the fall, the collapse that felled old humanity, boiling Cradle and withering her colonies entirely. Though it has been thousands of years since Union was founded, and thousands more since the fall, new humanity knows only one truth among 10,000 unknowns. If we are to survive, we must come together in solidarity and mutual aid. Despite Union's conviction, and despite its successes so far, the sheer size of this collective project is daunting. Union is distant to most people, fictionalized in OmniNet dramas and novels, dreamed about by children and wanderers, hailed as the promised kingdom or damned as the pit by religions across the galaxy. For all its authority, Union prefers to rule from a distance. Few have ever seen one of Union's administrators, let alone suffer one of its naval campaigns. For those who have seen this flag, who have never seen this flag, Union is all but a myth. But for those whose skies have been darkened by Union ships, the hegemony may have brought liberty, but it brought death first. The galaxy remains a dangerous place outside the core. Rebellions, insurrections, piracy, wars, civil and interplanetary, continue to flare and burn their way through space. Though only the most desperate conflicts require Union's intervention, disputes between Union's subject states are common enough that there is still a need for militaries, militias, and mercenaries. 5 major suppliers offer arms and armor to states and entities outside the core that desire them. These manufacturers exist in delicate balance with the Union. Though the administrators regulate and the suppliers comply, these two philosophies, one of post-capital utopia and the other of permanent and wild growth, rush towards an irreconcilable end. You are one person, alive in this time of tumult and peace. A time of promise that was built on the sacrifices of those who came before and is threatened still by the heirs of old adversaries. You are one whose life is lived in the great river, where lives cross stars and time. Where one person in the right place at the right time can divert the course of history. Where the collective actions of comrades can save worlds, lives, and better define Union's utopian dream. You are a mech pilot, one of the best, a lancer, and yours is the story of this spinning coin at the apex of its toss. At this pivotal moment in history, what will you and your comrades do when fate, foresight, and luck, good or bad, puts you in the right place at the right time? On which side will you fall? That is the not a TLDR, but that is the did read of the introduction of the setting.
Okay.
You're gonna skip past the cavalry, and that was kind of mostly for like Chad and anyone who isn't familiar. But skip past the cavalry. Your character is a lancer. Your lancer hails from mortal culture. Humanity is familiar and strange. It gives a bunch of suggestions as to different mech pilots, which are really helpful if you are like, I'm kind of not sure, and we can get there when we get there. But whatever led your character to the cockpit of their mech, they're the sum of many parts, enhanced through a combination of training, natural skill, battlefield experience, and neural or physical augmentation. Lancer is the equivalent of a knight of old, a flying ace, or another class of elite warrior. Playing Lancer! Building pilots and mechs. What we need: D20s. You need 2 sorts of dice, 20-sided and D6, which I really love. I love a good D20 system. 20-sided dice are fun.
Yeah.
I do love checking out a lot of the other systems, but I do love to see another fresh take on a D20 system. Kind of like Vagabond had a similar thing going on.
Okay.
Which I loved the reverse sort of calculation that had going on. I thought that was very interesting. Lancer does it more classically, but it keeps the numbers extremely low.
Okay.
So in general, like your AC, it's rarely going to be higher than like a 12, and I'm pretty sure like the max you can really get it to is like a 17.
Okay.
So no matter what, there's always a chance to get hit. You are going to something you have to like kind of accept is you are going to take damage. It's about how much damage you take and what you do with that. Which I appreciate because like that leans into the whole like, mech fantasy of your mech getting destroyed or damaged and you having to like repair it or bring it back in, the give and take. It no mech fight comes out with both mechs looking good and people say, yeah, that was a good fight. But yeah, it is very, very easy as far as it understands. The advantage system is very easy. It's very much like Vagabond in that if you have advantage, also known as accuracy, or disadvantage, also known as miss, it gives you or inaccuracy, it gives you a d6, which you add or subtract. Unlike advantage in like D&D, 5e, these actually do cancel each other out, so it is always worth it to calculate how many you have. Because if you have like 2 negative, but if you can stack 3 positive, you still get 1 positive out of the end of that.
Okay.
So it is always good to stack that, and there are a lot of things that give advantage. Advantage is actually going to be more useful in general than having bonuses to something. It's rare that you'll have stuff. Yeah, it's rare that you have more than a 2 or a 4 as a bonus to a roll. You have to get to pretty higher levels, and even then you're not really hitting past +8. Narrative play and mech combat. Narrative play, and this is something I think that this game really, really did well, is it splits combat and narrative play extremely. They are basically nothing like each other. Narrative play plays a lot more like Monster of the Week or something like that, where it is more narrative. Skill checks are really just kind of based on the situation. In general, 10 plus just means you succeed, and 9 or less means you fail. And the DM gets to tell you kind of what happens. The DM can't change the target number 10. They have access to several tools that declaring a skill. So like the DC is always 10 for skill checks outside of or outside of or inside of combat. Skill check DC always 10.
Yeah.
You can be like, okay, that situation is difficult or it is risky, and those apply things to it. Like you can, if it's difficult, you can be like, it's difficult. You have disadvantage. You have a negative. And that, or you have difficulty on it. Yeah, that's what it's called. Accuracy bonus difficulty over here. And so you can be like, yeah, you have difficulty, and you give that player a d6 negative on that roll. And that's how you represent it. And you can say this thing is extremely difficult. You have 3 disadvantage on this. Ooh. The thing about 3 disadvantage, though, it's not as bad as it initially sounds. So the way that multiple advantage or disadvantage work is you roll all of them and you take the highest. You don't add them together.
Okay.
And that is that is pretty consistent across the rules. In general, your d20 roll is your d20 roll, period.
Okay.
You can roll a 1 and still succeed if the thing's low and you have enough bonuses because of how rare bonuses are. That's like a big, you're overcoming a big hurdle, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's very cool. The only thing that allows you to reroll is, I'm pretty sure, grit. And you can never stack more than 1 bonus to a roll. You do have some stats as a pilot. Very rarely will they actually come up in a mech combat. They're more likely to come up in narrative situations.
Okay.
Contested checks representing a challenge between 2 parties. In a contested check, both participants make skill checks and add any bonuses. Whoever's the highest result wins. If the result is a tie, the attacker, the one who... So, contested checks are one of the, like, consistent things where you can have NPCs roll against them or enemy mechs roll against them. Accuracy and difficulty, as I just described. With your statistic bonuses being the, like, flat positives that you add to it.
Okay.
Missions, Lancers divided into missions and downtime. Missions being mech combat, downtime being downtime activities, and usually your Lancer will come with some downtime activities that are either based or there are some base ones that everyone gets. You make certain rolls on, and then there's also specific downtime activities that you can get as a result of a background or something like that. But if your character isn't on a mission, you're in downtime.
Okay.
Scenes happen in both missions and downtime. So a scene is as you would think of it in a TV show, right? The group going to a bar and drinking, that's a scene. The group inside of a hangar of a big ship, that's a scene. The group in a big mech combat, that's a scene. If there's a cut between 2 combats, those are 2 different scenes. And there are a lot of abilities that are like once per scene. So it is important to track. And useful to track. Building pilots and mechs. Here we are. We're just going to be starting with license level 0, just to walk you through making the first one. License level 0, it's the easiest. You're going to pick a background. Triggers. Triggers are... it's probably my least favorite word in it because of just like how the implications that a lot of people have with it. But triggers are... It does make sense because when a situation would call for an ability, you check your triggers to see if any of them would trigger off of the situation. And most of your triggers are generally things that relate to situational stuff. You'll see when we get there, but it makes a lot of sense when you read them. You get 1 + 2 mech skill or 2 + 1 mech skills. And then 3 rank 1 talents, which we will also get to. A background, but most of the backgrounds you can just change. Whenever you something I really like about it is whenever you level up, you like go through your stuff, but you can also reallocate points from licenses and stuff like that. So you can change around your character every time you level up. So if you're like, oh yeah, I like this, but I don't want to do that, don't want to keep doing that, it makes a lot of sense. Example, Lancers, mech pilots. They really lean into the big variety here. Pilot background. So, your pilot's background describes their life before they became a mech pilot. Doesn't necessarily determine your pilot's current lore. Indeed, your pilot might reject their old life, wanting to do with their history, wanting nothing to do with their history, even as it affects them in the present. But it tells your GM and fellow players a bit about who they were prior to entering their machine. Backgrounds are very helpful for a variety of reasons. They're also just mostly a prompt.
Okay.
If you invoke a background, you can invoke your background to get a +1 accuracy or difficulty on any skill check, which I think is interesting. It encourages you giving yourself difficulties and stuff. When negotiating with other colonists, navigating the wilderness or farming, a character born in space, however, might get a plus difficulty when doing those things. There's a disagreement. You talk with the which I love. This is in general. There's a disagreement between the DM and a player. All the other people at the table to make the decision.
Oh.
And it goes at the end of the day is if the other players can't like make a decision, the person who used the background decides because it's their character. This game is very much about character agency, which I do appreciate. It does it mitigates because like this is something that just happens, and it sucks when it happens, but it does just happen. But some DMs are power hungry and they love to just abuse their players, and it is really nice to see a game that puts agency in the hands of the player.
Yeah.
Like I am personally of the opinion, DM's table, DM's rule, and if you disagree with a call, you can voice that, but generally do it after the session. And I still think that applies here. The only time that this applies is if it's specifically regarding your character. If a DM is like, this is how I'm running this NPC, players can't really say anything about that because that's the DM running the NPCs, right? So it's a good way of balancing that. But we'll start off. Aqua, I hope you've had enough time as I've just been chatting at you. Have you thought about a pilot at all?
So I have one of those problems where like I like a variety of things, but looking at some of the like now what type of pilot you mean in terms of like background or
so yeah, this is we're going to go with background right out the gate. So backgrounds we have right here, and it does have a d20 roller for people if you don't want to decide and just want to roll it. So I do appreciate that they have that, but it does give a little bit of information. But at the end of the day, in order to make the game interesting and to lean into the setting, it is highly recommended that you play a diasporan. A diasporan is a member of the largest class of humanity, world-bound people outside of the galactic core. The galactic core, well, it has a lot of people, and they're all connected via blink space. It's kind of insular, right? And it's kept safe via the like outer perimeter of the Union. But in regards to diasporans, in order to like play into you need a mech because you're fighting corpos or anything like that. It is highly, highly recommended to be a diasporan. I will actually very briefly, I'm not doing this just because, but this is my license level 2 pilot that I was making for a one-shot. And she is, in fact, not a diasporan. She's from the core, who has left the core to basically do Peace Corps work, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So there are ways that you can write around that and still really lean into the lore of the setting, and I love her. But it is not necessarily so you're not like locked in there, but it is recommended, especially when you're first starting and writing a character.
Let's see.
And if you have any questions about what these are, for example, NHP specialist is like, what was that?
Yeah.
NHP means non-human person. It's the term for AI.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, okay, so it's saying it recommends diasporans, but then why isn't it part of the list for the backgrounds? Or is it something?
Oh, because all of these are diasporans. Diasporan just describes you are from outside of the core of humanity.
Okay. So it's recommended to be a diasporan, but that's all there is really, and it's just an umbrella term for all of them?
So yeah, it's recommended to be a diasporan. So this is more like of a narrative thing. Diasporan is just like an in-universe lore thing. Diasporan literally just means you don't live in the core. And so it is...
Okay. It's either in
These
core or out of core.
Yeah, you're so there are three kinds of people in this setting. There are diasporans, cosmopolitans, and metropolitans. You are one
Okay.
of the three, period. Unless you're in Caracas, that's a whole different thing. But
Okay.
if you are part of the Union, or like in Union space, or even on the edges of Union space, you are like 99.9999999% of humanity is diasporan, metropolitan, or cosmopolitan.
Hmm.
Diasporan means outside of the core.
Okay.
Cosmopolitan means you live in transit. You are
Hmm.
on a like ship, that like one of the generation ships that's still traveling out to one of the distant parts of like space. You are um you are just in one of the like freighter ships. There are also satellite ships that just like live in space.
Yeah.
And they just live in transit, constantly traveling from place to place. They're like space nomads, basically,
Yeah.
that are part of the expansion of humanity. And that's what cosmopolitan means. And then
Yeah.
metropolitan means you live in the core.
Yeah. See, because like, of course, I always get like, like Firefly or Cowboy Bebop kind of like
Most
references,
definitely. There's
because those
definitely
are the kind
some.
of things that I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, and you can lean into that. Like, if you want to be a Spike Spiegel type ex gangster who became like rogue mercenary bounty hunter pilot, you can do that. It literally has background mercenary right here.
Yeah.
Criminal.
Well, it's like I guess leaning more towards like Firefly because you've got like a nice mix of characters that you would be
Oh yeah.
um
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
you know.
usually you have a good group and a good like diverse team, and they all kind of bring their own vibe to them.
So I'm leaning between either like a medic, mechanic.
Hey, I love medic. Medic is what that's what this character is. They're a medic.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because she was a like literal studied in like chemical and medical sciences.
Yeah.
And because she was just doing medical work, it brought her further and further out because that's where she was needed until she just
Hmm.
ended up in outside of core space. Like she just
Yeah.
kind of kept going further and further out. And
Yeah.
now she just fully lives out in that kind of space. But her background is she was literally a medical scientist in the
Okay.
core. And I love that kind of shit. But you can also go medic where like you're from a shitty hospital in the back, or you were part of a military, you're a military medic. Vaughn pointed out penal colonists, which penal colonist is great. It means that there are penal colonies like Australia was to the UK, where they just send prisoners.
Yeah.
Think that's a really, I think there's a lot of ways to make that engaging background. And I'm pretty sure Connor used this background for his character in the Lancer one shot I ran.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, because it was either that or medic or starship pilot.
Yeah,
But
lean into what you want to play.
it's like the what was it having so many options is like the choice paralysis.
I mean, yeah, you can just roll for it if you're struggling.
I think maybe just roll for it.
All right, roll me a d20.
Let's see, yeah, where's my d20s? I usually have dice near my desk. Let me grab it quick. Of course I will. Aha! Get my pretty galaxy dice. 19. Oh, Starship Pilot. Okay. Starship it is then.
Starship Pilot it is then. Lovely, wonderful. Let's scroll down to Starship Pilot. Bop, bop, bop. Starship Pilot, example triggers. Get somewhere fast, show off. Get a hold of something, hack or fix. You flew a starship, civilian, corporate, military, or otherwise. You may have piloted a freighter, a fighter, a shuttle, or a larger ship. Did you have a regular run? Did you fly anywhere? You know what? Let's go through these questions. Did you have a regular one? What kind of ship did you fly?
I think maybe a... Let's do a fighter, why not?
Well, that's the thing, Vaughn, is you can kind of mash three of them together. You have to pick one for, like, what it's called, I guess. But you can also just make up your own. And the reason why that's, like, pretty easy is because when you get to triggers, you pick triggers. You pick which four you want. It just gives you example ones for that character. Unless you mean 3 mech types, in which case, yeah, that's a little bit more difficult. You and Crispy need to talk about that, because Crispy literally every time Lancer gets brought up, it's like, I wish I could just mix any of the mech pieces together, and I'm like, Crispy, that's the reason why you can't.
I think I'll go with I was a member of a crew and we flew anywhere, basically.
Oh, sorry, what was
Have
that?
it be a freighter. Because like some of the questions were you a member of a crew or did you have your own? Did you have a regular run? Did you fly anywhere?
Yeah.
Thinking maybe I was a pilot. Like a... Because I was going to say, would it count being like a pilot aboard a larger vessel, but like not quite like a drone, but you know, like having military leanings, or at least having its own fighting force kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We have a Ray.
It's me.
Welcome.
Yeah, Vaughn, I'm pretty sure you can just do penal colonist, soldier, super soldier. You will have to pick one as, like, you know, which one you call it, but you can call it, like, a penal soldier if you really want, or something like that. And then you just pick different triggers from all of them, and that's something that's really, really easy to do. We're walking through making a character. I said penal.
Anyway.
We've already covered the TLDR of, like, the setting and
We're
everything
adults.
like that. Not actually a
And I'm
TLDR.
pretty sure I've heard the setting before.
Yeah, people have talked about it. So right now we're into making pilots. Do you want to make one?
Sure.
Heck yeah!
Just in time.
You are
Yippee.
just in time. If y'all want to, I'm gonna send y'all something. If y'all want to track them, like if you want to like write this shit down for them.
I don't know.
All right, let me get you these. Boom, done. Shabba.
Okay, so
Shaboopy.
Lancer.
Shabam.
Make a one note for this. Okay.
There you go. I sent y'all character sheets.
I see.
That should make it easier.
Shooby dooby.
Shooby doo.
Good booty. Alright.
Let me know when y'all are ready, or Ray, whenever you would like. You can start working on the background and start. You can just talk out loud and start, you know, spitballing what you're thinking for a background. Backgrounds don't really lock you into anything. These are just suggestions so that you can, when we get to triggers, you pick which ones you want, and they kind of give you things like, the thing I like about this is like celebrity, charm, pull rank, leader, inspire, threat. And it's like, yeah, these things make sense with a celebrity. You should look out or pick one of these, but you don't have to.
For some reason, I can't type in these.
Huh? That's odd. Oh, yeah. Doesn't let me type in it. It's probably meant to be printed out. It might not be necessarily formatted properly in that. Well, this is where I can do one other thing for you. Is I can recommend the website CompCon. CompCon is the like pseudo official. It's not like sponsored, but it is promoted by the original creators. And so it is relatively easy to get onto. It doesn't give you copies of all of the stuff, but there is a way actually to upload all of the material basically for free. Is if you follow... I will do this with you really quickly for anyone who wants to do this. If you want to import the stuff into here to get stuff into the compendium, you go to Content Manager, LCP Directory, and these here will... this is like fan content, but clicking on these, the Massive Lancer content, will lead you to a place where you can download it for free. It downloads a small file, you install it here, and then you can access it on this website. It's really, really intuitive. The only thing you really need to do is Lancer Core Book, which I think is by base loaded on there. So gotcha. I don't think you need to do that, but that is for if you want to add the extra content or anything like that.
Okay. Let's see if we can do this.
But yeah, if you can get that started, I will go back to this and we can get back to character creation.
Yeah. Okay, so background. Let's see. What are you thinking, or what did you already pick, Aqua?
I rolled and I going with a starship pilot background kind of thing.
Aqua felt like rolling, and that's what they rolled. And we're here for it.
There were so many options, like, I could do this, I could do this. You know, let me just.
Until I play the game, I have a hard time really picking stuff. I'm gonna go with mechanic.
Okay, for mechanic.
Yeah.
With mechanic coming down here. Example triggers: hack or fix, get somewhere fast, get a hold of something, blow something up. Grease monkey, wrench, working Joe. You were a mechanic prior to becoming a pilot. It gives you some leading questions, which I think are really helpful.
Yes, please.
Did you work in space, swaddled in an EVA rig, patching up damaged starships? Were you planet-side, tuning trucks and haulers? Did you repair battle-torn mechs, dreaming of one day you might be a pilot? Or did you own a garage? Or did you work for someone? And hopefully some of that might have triggered an idea or two for you.
Yeah, worked odd jobs.
I will be right back. But keep going. I'm listening.
But mostly worked in a garage. mechs. One of my contracts was working in space for a brief period of time. Thinking that space travel would be my passion. But working on mechs ended up sparking that flame. Let's see.
I return. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
All right, figured out your mechanic. And so that was that's just like, suggestions, starting off making the character. Then you get to the actual mechanical side of the background, which is triggers. And these are the actual like skills you get, because, and this is for Ray, combat or lancers like split down the middle, with outside of your mech being treated a lot more like monster of the week, and kind of fast and loose, easy, generalized rules, DC 10 always, and you apply bonuses or negatives as the GM depending on the difficulty of the situation. It is very intuitive in that way, and the highest bonuses you can really get is a +6 on anything. And I guess it can go up to a total +12 if you have advantage, roll a 6, and have a +6, but that is extremely rare.
Nice.
So it's a D20 system, and it's low numbers. Even when you're in your mech, you tend not to have more than a +1 or a +2 to rolls. You're just kind of flat rolling against dice, which I appreciate. Actually, I really like numbers that are kept small. In general, like one of the highest damaging weapon in the game, I think, is 2d6 +6 or something like that.
Okay.
And that is like a ultra heavy melee weapon. So in general, weapons are dealing, like pistols, mech pistols deal like 1d3.
Okie dokie.
Which is, I think it's intuitive, and I think it's a lot easier to understand that way. Looking at triggers, at license level 0, you get to pick 4 of these at +2 each. And so we'll walk through the triggers. When you see one you like, you can write it down. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Act seen or unheard. Apply fists to faces. Assault. Blow something up. Charm. Get a hold of something. Get somewhere quickly. hack
Okay,
or
so
fix. Oh, yep.
what are these?
These are triggers. These are basically skills that your pilot has. So if I were using my pilot as example, this is kind of what I've been doing so far. This is my pilot, Adelaide, and she is a medic background. And so she has, and I actually have been meaning to swap out read a situation for get a hold of something, because it makes more sense for her. But she has hack or fix, repair a faulty system, alternately hack it wide open, totally wreck it, disable or sabotage it. So makes sense for her since she's gotten into mech stuff. She is a medic, so she has her medical knowledge, +4 to patch. Her read a situation, which I'm going to swap out for get a hold of something. She has social connections, so she can get stuff that she needs. Stay cool, perform a task that requires concentration. Dexterity, speed, precision, or pressure. I thought that made sense for a medic to have. And survives, kind of same reason. She's a medic in like very, very harsh environments. So these are specifically skills relating to the pilot. They can, in certain circumstances, apply while you are in the mech, but in general, these are your pilot skills. And so, we go to here. You figured out your background, and it has example triggers here. You don't have to pick these. When we come down to the actual triggers, you pick 4. When you pick one, it gets a +2. For every level you have in that skill, it gets an additional +2. You can't put 2 levels in it at level 0. So you pick 4 of these, and you have +2 in that skill, aka, or trigger, as they're called in this.
Okay.
So again, act seen or unheard, apply fist to faces, assault, blow something up, charm, get a hold of something, get somewhere quickly, hack or fix, invent or create, investigate, lead or inspire, patch, pull rank.
Probably patch?
Patches apply medical knowledge specifically.
Okay.
You might be looking for hack or fix. Or invent or create.
Yeah. I can pick 3 of these, it says, right?
4. You pick 4.
Oh, gotcha. Invent or create, and then
Patch, pull rank, read a situation, show off, spot, stay cool, survive, take control, take someone out, threaten, word on the street.
I'm going to go with stay something cool.
Stay cool is very good. Stay cool makes a lot of sense. I could see spot making sense, spotting details and that kind of thing. That's a very mechanic skill.
Yeah.
What about you, Aqua? What are you thinking?
Well, so I was a little confused by it, and then I was reading the thing. So we are choosing 4 of them, and each one is +2, or
yes,
we only get
exactly.
1? Okay.
You get 4 of you choose 4 of these that you get a +2 in that skill. Okay. Or trigger, as they're called.
So I was thinking, like, having a pilot kind of background, I was thinking get somewhere quickly.
Yep.
Blow something
get somewhere
up.
Quickly makes a lot of sense. Blow something up makes a lot of sense. If you were because you're a military pilot, right?
Yeah. And then for the last 2, I'm like, which one should I prioritize? Because it's like stay cool does sound good, but then also
assault could make a lot of sense.
Yeah, or like taking what was like one of the last ones? There was a couple I was looking at.
Take someone out.
Either take control or take someone out.
Take control makes a lot of sense. Pull rank also makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Because like if you were military, there that literally has that built in. Pull rank on a subordinate, get information resources or aid from them.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here.
So these are the ones that I'm.
Well, so then the difference between pull rank and take control.
Use force, violence, presence of will, or direct action to take control of something.
Gotcha.
So this can be done without having like military or social standing. This is just you being like wholly intimidating.
Yeah. Okay, so then maybe I'll do for my last two, stay cool and pull rank.
Stay cool and pull rank.
But then again, take someone out.
Or assault as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You will get to pick more at later license levels. So if you think something makes more sense for a background and there's something you want, take the thing you want at license level 1 and take the background thing now. That's how I tend to do it.
Cause that's kind of how I thought of it too. It's just like, okay, so right now thinking of just like my character, I think that
license level 0 is you have just proven yourself to be an ace pilot. Like you have done something that people are like, oh shit.
Yeah,
but
so like
you aren't super well known yet.
And spotting, but like they're a chill person, but also they know how to get a hold of people. They have connections. That's how I basically like said, okay, I'm not gonna go with invent or create, even though I want that. I'm gonna wait for that.
I could see stay cool being something you take as you get more confident as a solo pilot kind of thing, and you take assault right now or take someone out right now to represent the military background.
Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll get somewhere quickly, blow something up, pull rank, and take someone out.
Get somewhere quickly, blow something up, pull rank, take someone out. Makes a lot of sense. Pilots in combat, you might need to bail out of your mech during a fight, in which case you need to track your pilot's HP if they get injured during downtime. Pilots operate on different scale to size, HP, evasion, E-defense. Those things do translate, but pilots and mechs do have them, but these are just like the basic physical stats, right? Size, you are size 1/4 as a human. Okay. The smallest mech you can get in is a size 1/2. And those are like ostensibly combat suits or like exo armor, that kind of thing. Imagine like the Fallout armor, right? It's like the size 1/2 mechs are power suits.
Gotcha.
But pilots in general all have these stats. Your HP might change if you're wearing armor or anything, but humans pretty much all have HP is 6 plus grit. Size is 1/2 as a humanoid. Yeah, so okay. Even laying even more into they're the 1/2 mechs are just exosuits. Evasion and E-defense is 10. That's the flat DC for everything, and your speed is 4.
Okay, evasion 10, E-defense 10, speed 4. Alright, got it.
Creating a pilot, you choose a background. During narrative play, you can get bonuses by invoking your pilot's background. Choose triggers. 4 triggers. Write down your pilot's combat statistics. Size 1/2, HP 6, evasion 10.
I'm currently on pilot talents.
Yes, we are getting to pilot talents in a second.
Okay.
And then gear. But now we are getting to mech skills. We will get to in a second. This is where the game gets more complicated and leans into the like character customization kind of 3-5 aspect of things. They still truncate some of the like combat roles, but as far as customization goes, they really were like, yeah, go wild, which I really appreciate. This just talks about how mechs are modular and how you can kind of put them in. You can get different frames and stuff, but not until later license levels.
Well, it's like we're on like if Aqua's doing the same thing I am, we are on a very rigid track to
yes. So you are modular right now, like I said. But yes, as far as the if you're doing CompCom, it has a like set way of doing things. I'm just gonna quickly run through the book and the like structure of the book. But I will get there to pilot skills in a second. Just talking about frames, mounts, armor. These are the different names for various mounts that you can have. Your frame, like what mech you use, decides what your mounts are. So some mechs have more, some mechs have less, and that's something you need to pay attention to or think about when you're making, or when you're setting up your mech. Because you are both license level 0, you will be using, and that's why this is put right here. Core systems, type, damage, improving mechs, creating mech, talents. Yeah. Go up, building the mech. Right, it was up. General massive systems. All pilots, even at license level 0, have access to the GMS SP1 Everest frame and the GMS gear list. At first, this will be the only gear available to you until your character gains some license levels and unlocks new licenses. GMS parts are galactic standards. They're the basic equipment, and a lot of it is just useful throughout the game.
Okay.
Some of the best builds, like the highest spec builds in the game, are just with the basic Everest frame. It's really good. It's genuinely really good. You take a different frame if you want something specific, generally. The Everest, the thing I love about Everest is there's no art for it. You decide what your Everest looks like. Frame size, creating a mech. Start by picking a frame, which from license level available to you. At license level 0, you only have access to the Everest. And getting to these are, that's just an example. Structure of play, mission. A lot of this is GM stuff. Downtime is helpful just for knowing what kind of things you can do.
I'm sadly unable to really absorb this information until I finish the task that I currently have ahead of me.
Yes,
right now,
I'm kind of talking at chat a little bit. A lot of this is not stuff that you need particularly to have down right away, and I am trying to get to the pilot talents.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm trying to get there. Just the reason why I'm going over all this and like zooming through it is I want to make sure there isn't something like super important that stands out. Just because in this structure, like I know it's set up that way in CompCon, but like the structure of the book might have something in it intentionally. Fighting on the ground, non-human persons, quick combat references, stats. Don't need any of that. Wear and tear. Quirks. Yes. I will say this last. I'm actually glad I hit this. Something I think is really fun, and you can have this right out the gate, but quirks are just a like part of something you can make with your, or you can add to your character, but they can also be something you roll if you get injured or something. And they're like withered limb or something like that. Your clone has a unique appearance, that kind of thing. But they're just like little things that you can roll to add to your pilot's flavor if you want something a little extra. So I like that they include it.
Hell yeah.
Talents. Here we go. Talents represent unique knowledge, experience, etc. This is something I really like about the way talents work. Is the like little thing on the side tells you how many there are 3. All right, I'm gonna start at the beginning. There are 3 ranks in every talent. Every talent goes from at license level 0, you can pick any 3 rank 1 talents. Every time your license level increases, you can upgrade a talent, or you can choose a new one. It's the difference between deepening knowledge that you already have or broadening your experience with new skills. But at the beginning, at license level 0, you just choose 3 skills that your pilot would have. These are things that your pilot does that augment your mech, right? This is like representing how a pilot changes how the mech functions. So you can have the exact same physical mech as someone else, but completely different styles if you take different different talents. Talents are incredibly important for defining what you want your mech to be like.
I really want to take on your Huckleberry, just on principle.
Bonded is great. Bonded is genuinely great. Right out the gate, which I think is great. At the beginning, and your GM allows it, you choose one. Like everyone has to agree on it, but you choose someone to be your bond mate, and as long as you two are adjacent to each other, you get bonuses.
Nice.
If both characters have the talent, you get double the bonuses.
Nice.
And so you can absolutely take that as one of your talents. They are genuinely really good. Sundance, which is the rank 2 of it, is also extremely good. Having a specific having a specific reaction is extremely important.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of my character.
Thinking... I will say really quickly before we get into your character, Ace, it makes so much sense for your character, Aqua.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Well, because I wasn't sure if the skills were the headlines or if they were the things underneath them, you know?
Yeah, the skills are that. So this is the name of the talent. And then when you take the talent at level 1, you get the first ability. So you will only get the first ability right now. So you would only get acrobatics and you would only get Huckleberry.
But we get 3 talents?
And you get
or how many talents?
3 separate talents, correct.
Okay.
And
that's
then
what I wanted to.
When you level up, you can choose to either upgrade a talent so that you get access to like its second ability and its first ability, or you can take a new talent.
Okay.
So
One was Ace and the other one was...
I'm Bonded.
Thoughts on Drone?
Drone is very cool. It makes a lot of sense for an engineer. There's a lot... Drone Commander, I assume you mean?
Well, yeah, Drone Commander, yeah.
Yeah.
My,
Shepherd. Your drone systems gain plus 5 HP. That's pretty cool. It means if you equip a drone system... so we will get to systems in a second. Systems are ways that your mech is augmented that are specific to your character. So both of you are going to have the Everest. Both of you will have access to a jump jet system or a flight system. And if you have, or a drone system, like there are a bunch of different systems you can have access to, and a lot of talents will upgrade systems. So one of the ways to go, it's encouraged, is you'll be like, oh, okay, so this means I need to look out for drone systems if I want this, right? So it's very good if you're using drone systems, but if you have Drone Commander and you don't have drone systems, you're wasting the talent. Make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Protocols are like free actions, basically. Something you can do really quickly. The ability to move a drone as a protocol is very, very helpful. It's like an automatic action.
Would drone work hand in hand with tactician or any of the ranged weapon stuff, or does drone work best with melee?
Tactician. I would have to double check what the mech, what the system is. Let me double check on the system really quickly.
Okay.
And because I've never fucked with drone systems myself personally. General market systems. Manipulators, expanded compartment. Custom paint job, my favorite. Pattern A smoke charges, pattern A Jericho deployable cover, pattern B hex charges, personalizations. Yep, you can have drones. Personalizations is really good. Turret drones, here we are. Yes, so turret drones do expended turret drone attack gain the turret attack reaction, which can be taken once per round. And the question you were asking about was
does it complement more ranged fighters or melee fighters?
Well, it complements ranged attacks primarily, but the interesting thing about Tactician is the more you go into it, the more you... Like, because the first one only gives bonuses on melee, but the second one gives bonuses on ranged.
Gotcha.
So, Tactician is an interesting one where taking 2 levels in it can be useful for, especially if you're using both. If you're alternating between them. Drones seem to be ranged attacks, though.
Let me see. I'm gonna read through some of these. So
yeah.
If you have any questions.
Infiltrator, Juggernaut, Hunter. I can see heavy gunner making sense for you if you...
Oh, yeah. Go that route. Potentially.
Huh. I wonder how... Because we were license level 1? I wonder how Arkoff had Last Argument of Kings. I might need to ask him about that, because that is a rank 3 talent. He should have only had access to rank 2. But it was cool, so I think I might need to ask him about that, because he knows more about the game than I do.
Gunslinger.
I mean, there's literally an engineer talent.
Let me see. I think that will definitely be one of them if I can't, because I'm also trying to find like a complement to the drone one, because I really want to try drones.
There might be... Hold up. I think... Let me see. Gunslinger might... Auxiliary... Okay, so that Gunslinger doesn't, because that's auxiliary ranged weapons. The tag for ranged weapons is very important. Skirmisher. An attack with a launcher. A lot of them give bonuses to various types of builds. Walking armory. QC, close quarters battle.
What about Hunter?
Once per round, when you attack with an auxiliary melee weapon, you may fly up to 3 spaces toward a targeted character before the attack. This move ignores engagement and does not... It's very good if you're planning on being up in melee. It's extremely good if you're planning on being up in melee.
So that might be better for someone who's a melee fighter. Got it.
Yeah. Prowl, momentum. Boost your next ram, Juggernaut, Nuclear Cavalier Leader. Siege Specialist, Stormbringer. Oh, there's also Technophile, which could make some sense for you.
Okay. Might need to explain some of the details to me because I don't understand some of this terminology.
Yes. You gain and develop custom... NHP means non-human person, so AI.
Okay.
Not, AI cursed to us like actual artificial intelligence. They can speak to you. It has a personality. They're less advanced than most NHPs, but are incapable of independent thought. Relying on you for direction. When acting alone, they will follow the last direction given. So you get like a little, like, you know how when people get into certain mechs, there's the like, welcome, pilot.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like that you get that, basically. You may choose for your mech to gain the following system. So if you choose that, you will gain access to servant class NHP, and you just get that, and it costs 0 systems. Right out the gate, it doesn't do a ton. It's mostly flavor, but it can be extremely helpful.
I'm not sure if I will go for that with my drone.
Makes sense. Something that you need to be, or something that is helpful to be aware of, is getting bonuses, like flat bonuses on attacks, is not particularly easy. It is something you have to kind of spec into, and drones themselves specifically, so having it at license level 0 is hard, and drones specifically are meant to be like a backup, like, bonus thing, so it is especially hard to get bonuses on them. Almost all the things that give bonuses to attack apply to specific weapons, of which and I will double check, drones are not part of them. Any of the, like, weapon systems that get bonuses. So as far as I can tell, only the second tactician would actually give a bonus on it.
Okay. Okay, last question, and then I'll just hand the reins off to Aqua, because then I'll have to just decide on which one. Okay, crack shot.
Crack shot. I think I might have missed that one. Combined arms. Let me double check what that one does really quickly. That's what that one does. As a protocol, you may steady your aim. If you do, you become immobilized at the start of your next turn. Mixed with rifles. If you're using a rifle, it's real good.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of the talents that give bonuses to a specific type of weapon or a specific, like, class of weapons. So combined arms gives bonuses to using a mix of melee and close weapons. There's another one that gives just a flat +1 when using QCB weapons, and QCB means close quarters battle. It's any ranged weapon that you use in close combat.
Gotcha.
Then there's, like, duelist. Your main only applies to your main melee weapon. With a only applies to main melee weapons, right?
Gotcha.
Drones immediately Vicious pulse of energy. Yeah, so as far as I can tell with drones... As far as I can tell with drones... I'll go back down here. Because you want the turret drones, right? 2 SP, limited, 3 unique, quick action. Expend a charge to deploy a turret drone that attaches to any object or surface within sensors in line of sight. Gain the turret attack reaction.
If there's a melee drone, like...
I will look into it. I do not know what a melee drone would look like.
Well, I'm just curious if, like, it's a silly little brain thing. I was just curious about something very specific. But
yeah, I mean, describe the very specific thing. I don't know what you mean.
Basically, trying to make a ranger with, like, a beastmaster kind of vibe. Like, have ranged attacks, but have things basically preventing foes from getting closer, whether that be drones or creatures. Or
I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by melee drone, but the turret reaction, the turret attack reaction is when the turret attack reaction, as far as I can tell, is when you, an allied character, which includes you, within a certain range of you, makes a successful attack, which can be melee or ranged. The turret deals damage to the target.
Gotcha. So if that's the case, I think going with Tactician is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you go Tactician, and then there's also the talent that gives a +1 to QCB weapons, which is like any ranged weapon with the QCB tag. Which, you know, turret drones don't.
Is it combat arms? Or is it...
let me double check that one. Combined arms does give kind of a bonus to that, but that is not the one I'm thinking of. Tactician, Technophile, Spotter, Jackhammer, Integrated Chaff Launchers.
Oh, Vanguard.
Yeah, Vanguard, that might be it. Yes. Gain +1 when using QCB weapons to attack targets within 3. So that is one that gives a flat advantage when using QCB weapons, which is quite good.
All right, I'm going to go with the Vanguard instead, and then go with Engineer or Hacker for like my third one.
Cool.
I just need to decide on which one. I think Engineer. Because it gives me a prototype thing. Okay. All right, sorry, Aqua.
Oh, not at all. No worries. I was wondering, did you... Because I see the stuff that you posted, Ray. Were these things that, like, did you have a interactive PDF or...
No,
no. I went
is
to
on
the
website that I mentioned.
Oh!
CompCon.
Okay. That's why. I was like, I must be doing something wrong.
No, yeah, here, it's this website here, compcon.app.
Gotcha.
I'll allow Aqua to catch up real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have any other questions, Ray, while we're catching up?
Let me see. So this prototype thing. I did see that there's a CQB attached to it.
You can get CQB attachment. Like I'm pretty sure that when you, let me double check. Where's the because that is engineer. Main weapon, melee, QCB, cannon, launcher, nexus. Experimental prototype, customized according to your specific requirements. When you install it, you may choose a new weapon type, damage type, or either... oh, okay, got it. So when you make your prototype weapon, it's main, and you choose one of the tags, melee, QCB, rifle, cannon, launcher, or nexus. If you want, you can choose QCB.
Yes.
So you choose your main, your prototype weapon, and choose a QCB weapon, which means it's a close quarters weapon. It's a ranged weapon, but still kind of close quarters. So it's like a shotgun, or a pistol, or like an Uzi, something like that, right? Additionally, every time you've... So this has limited 1d6 plus 2. So at the beginning of at the beginning of a fight, at the beginning of combat, you roll 1d6 plus 2, and that's how many uses you have.
Okay.
The weapon automatically has overkill, attached to it. What overkill means is if you roll a 1 on your damage dice. If you roll a 1 on your damage dice, you take a point of heat, which is like a resource that you have that, like, if you overheat, that can cause negatives, but it's something you spend. But you take on overkill means you take a heat and then you roll the dice again. So it's this game's version of exploding dice.
Okay.
So overkill weapons are pretty cool in that. So you can just like fucking blow someone up. The damage is 1d6 plus 2 of kinetic, energy, or I forget what that type. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Kinetic, explosive, or energy. It counts as an integrated mount and does not require a mount. I mean, it's just like automatically a part of your kit.
Oh, I see here the pilot templates too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm in pilot template right now.
Of course, they're only taking 1 or 2 of the other triggers that I'd wanted. They're going a different route.
Oh, you should be able to completely customize that. If you go to pilot roster, create new pilot, you do not have to choose from those specific character template. Like, it says select character template at the bottom. Don't choose that. Just put in all the information and then continue.
Yeah. You can hit edit biography.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you don't have to take one of the templates. The templates are just like suggestions for if you don't know how to make a character.
Gotcha.
I went with randomization just to help me out.
Sorry, just getting some stuff worked out on my end.
Combined arms.
Yes, combined arms is very cool.
You're already past skills?
I believe so, because we had
I just want to make sure
yeah.
For Aqua, so...
Yeah.
Alright, if you already have everything, then back to talents.
Back to talents. So you picked your talents, right?
Yes, I have picked my talents.
Alright. Aqua.
Also, you can change how it looks, Aqua, if it helps you organize it by this little tab up here. I'm also streaming as well, just to...
Oh, okay. Let me see.
To help.
Yeah. Twitch does not always tell me when people are streaming, which is unfortunate.
Oh, not Twitch.
No. Stream in
the
Discord,
thing.
so you can see what they're doing.
Okay.
Which I do have that. Oh, yeah, I'm also doing that.
There it is. I was like, where's my window? Got too many windows.
So you'll see it like this at first, but then you can hit this little button over here to...
Oh, it's close quarters battle bond, not
Discord.
Close quarters blast.
Load.
So this might help with like
Discord,
feeling less overwhelming.
Yeah, Discord. It's still I see it in the thumbnail that you have it on the thing, but the main screen, if I try to like actually see it, it's still loading.
Okay.
So it'll probably just take a minute. Things been working a little slow today.
It might take me to log off and log back in.
Teach Monday.
I will be right back.
Just for the sake of walking through it a little bit, when I make my character, Adelaide, she is it's a primarily melee mech setup. So I chose Partisan, +1 accuracy on the first melee attack with the main weapon on my turn. I also chose rank 1 tactician. Once per round, gain +1 accuracy on any melee attack if at least one person's engaged. Combined arms, as long as I'm engaged, myself and any allies have soft cover. And House Guard, I count as adjacent when I'm in range 2 for the purpose of effects on allied characters. Meaning, as long as I'm engaged, anything within 2 units of me gets soft cover.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
And I have a lot of bonuses on melee. And then because I'm licensed level 2, so I'm a couple levels higher than what y'all are making. I also have Blade Master, which when I hit with a main melee weapon, I get a Blade Master die, and I can use the Blade Master die to do cool things. Very, very very extremely defensive melee build is what I have on her, which makes a lot of sense for her. She's also built around taking damage for allies. That's what all her systems do. Have you picked your 3, Aqua?
Oh yeah, I mentioned so Ace, Bonded, and
Combined arms.
Yeah.
Nice. Combined arms is very good. In which case, we are going to move down to systems. Gear and systems. Does it bring you to gear or systems? Just out of curiosity.
It brought me to pilot.
Pilot gear,
mech skills.
Oh, mech skills.
Yes. Because we're still in pilot sections.
Oh, yes. It's this bit. So this bit's very easy for y'all, and we'll kind of get there when we get there. In the book, but this part's very easy. You pick 2 and you upgrade it. You can either upgrade 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. Agility will give you evasion. Evasion is the equivalent of AC. AC is low in this. Like, it is period low. Most mechs have 10. The bigger, slower ones have 8. Actually, quite a lot of mechs have 8. Most of them, I would actually say most of them have 8. The slightly more nimble ones have 10. The really, really quick, agile, defensive ones have 12. And there are even some poor fuckers with 7. Hull is HP, representing hull points. And this is how much your pilot aids to that. So if your pilot is really quick, even if you're in a really heavy lunky thing, if you were all spec'd into agility, you're going to be way faster at that big lunky mech than most other people would expect. Which is kind of a cool way to kind of do that. Again, using Adelaide as an example because it's really helpful for me to do so. If I show you what her tactical profile is, I have 3 hull, 1 engineering. So she is not built to be agile. She's built to take damage. She has a lot of practice in repairing and reinforcing her mech and playing and like fighting defensively, which is why I have +6 HP on her with her hull. You get +2 HP for every point you put in hull.
Gotcha.
Systems is how good you are at technical side of things. The more you put into systems, the more systems you can have on your mech, the more things you can do, the more neat tricks you have.
Is that better for drone?
It could be good for drones just because it allows you to have more things that you can do, and you don't have all your system points eaten up by drones. Engineering is heat, which is, as I mentioned, the resource, or as I mentioned, the resource you can spend. And interestingly enough, you don't get a bonus to it at level 1. You only get so each of these has a primary bonus and a secondary bonus, right? The primary bonus is the like basic stat it adds: HP, evasion, system points, heat. At level 2 for them, and like every other level, it gives another smaller benefit. So for HP on my character, I have 3. They have +1 repair capacity. So I can repair myself 1 more time per combat than most other people can. Which makes a lot of sense for my medic character, right? If I were to take another point in engineering, I would have a lib and its systems bonus. I don't really need that, but for you, your specialty gun is limited systems. So if you had 2 points in engineering, you would get an additional shot on it every time you went into combat.
Oh, okay.
So for you being an engineer, you might not have the tankiest mech ever, but you might have really highly spec'd out systems in engineering, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, next level, when you get license level 1, you're like, okay, but I still want some HP. You can put another point in hull. Or you could put it into engineering. Or if you feel like, oh, I have enough systems, like, yeah, I don't need more, like, things that my character can do, which you might not, because you have a gun automatically built into your thing. So you can spend systems on your turrets and not worry about not having, like, weapons or abilities and that kind of thing. Make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so this is the whole, like, balancing factor of it, right?
Okay. And then Aqua has a Nito pilot.
Yeah, Aqua.
Let's see.
What are you thinking? How you wanted to balance it?
So let's see here. Looking at them, definitely one in systems.
Systems is very good. Systems makes a lot of sense. It doesn't make sense for my character to be particularly good with systems.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm not taking that on her. She is not the most, like, technical of mech pilots. She is primarily good at reinforcing her mech, repairing her mech, that kind of thing. So I have hull engineering. I'm probably gonna get some points in agility eventually on her. Gonna likely max out hull and then go into agility. She'll probably end up 6 hull, 3 agility, 3 engineering.
Yeah,
it's like that's her final build.
I'm not, like, currently looking at being like a tanky build. I'm more like fast, kind of like a versatile type of fighter.
Yeah. In which case,
like potentially
agile?
sniping, but we'll see. So yeah, so I was thinking agility and systems.
Agility and systems make a lot of sense for that. That's a very technical pilot.
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're past that page.
Okay.
I'm actually really quick. You know what? I'm going to use this as an opportunity as we just finished part of pilot creation. I'm going to take a quick break really quick to stretch my legs, drink some water, refill my water, go to the bathroom.
Good
and
call.
I'm going to hit an ad break and send us on that real quick. So everyone do that thing, stretch your legs, eat your drink, all that stuff.
Consume. Test 1 2.
Willkommen back. We are return. And we bring you more Lancer. Hooray. Alright, so what are we at for y'all on CompCon?
Alright, I have hit complete.
I also have hit complete.
So now I have my character in the compendium.
Okay, nice. So now that you have your character complete, because that should be everything for your character, you can set up equipment for them if you want to do that really quickly. That would be in your tactical... No, it would be in your narrative profile. Yeah, it will have gear loadout. And this is partially just flavor, but it's also, you know, adds to your character in some way, and they can be used in narrative scenes, which are, you know, the outside of combat stuff, downtime as it's called. Okay. You choose pilot armor. You get 3 pieces of pilot gear that you have on you at all times, and you get two weapons generally. For Addie, as I just, again, using her as an example, because she's from the core worlds, I decided to take the highest tech option, which is the personal kinetic shielding. Really, really subtle, and makes a lot of sense for her. Patch is basically any modern first aid kit. She always has patch gear on her, which makes sense. She's a medic. She also has medical stims on her. Again, medic. And she also has rations on her. That's just because she's hungry.
Always hungry.
Always hungry. And then for her weapons, she has her light AC. AC is armed combat, I believe, and it is like... Mm-hmm. Or no, it's archaic combat, which means anything old, right? Like anything really ancient. So like a knife or something. The reason why I put it in here is she has a scalpel on her. Which I just thought that was funny. And she has a taser, which I have as a... I choose its damage type. 1 variable damage is what that means. So she has like a little shock laser pistol.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of this is narrative, but I like it because it helps flesh out a character. There are stats for a lot of it, but again, a lot of it is very narrative. It like the big armors, like light hard suits and that kind of stuff, they do give HP. Like the light hard suit is generally considered the best by a lot of people because of just how stuff functions, but the heavy hard suit is also very good. Armor is flat reduction to any damage you take, and most damage when you're a pilot is 1 to 2 damage. So having 2 armor means you're immune to just about anything going at you. However, with evasion and E defense, that means you're like this 6 evasion means anything that rolls a 6 or higher hits you means you're gonna get hit a lot, right?
Okay.
Whereas like evasion 10, that's like the flat evasion, right? And stuff's gonna miss you a chunk of the time, more often than you'd expect. What my character has, which is not in the base book, it's from one of the other books, is personal kinetic shielding, which is similar to just the base light hard suit, but it does not give an HP bonus. However, whenever I take damage, I have base E defense and evasion. Like my evasion and E defense is still quite good at 10. As far as things go. And whenever I get hit with a ranged weapon, I reduce the damage by 1d6. Makes a lot of sense for her. She has a, like, kinetic shield that blocks things that come after her. Like a little, like, pulse bubble. But it's from one of the other things. The base book is still very good for deciding things. Mobility hard suit's very cool. Stealth hard suit's very fun for if you're playing that kind of character.
I think I'm gonna go with anti-photon visor because I think of like welding, engineering, kind of stuff.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
It's underneath the patch.
Oh, no, that sorry, as gear, you mean.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah.
I picked my gear as the like hard suit.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. What was it? The anti-photon visor. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So we only pick one of each, or we fill in this whole entire sheet?
You fill in the whole entire sheet, so you get 3 pieces
Okay.
of gear. My character has a patch, stims, and extra rations. You can take the same gear twice if you want more of it. I thought about doing that.
I'm not sure about to get for weapon wise for my engineer mechanic. I think I'll go with medium signature.
Medium signature. Makes sense for a weapon. And you would have, like, something kind of heavy.
I'm thinking a little bit of Alien.
Yeah. I was also... My brain was thinking Dead Space as well. Like, with the modular engineer gun that he has.
Yeah. And then probably light signature.
Makes sense. I chose double light signature. She's not a combatant. Everything she has on her is self-defense.
Gotta take out the limbs.
Take out the limbs. Miscellaneous gear, which we just picked. Alright, now we're hitting mech making. We are just making license level 0, so we're not... we will go through the other mechs. Just to, like, let you see what kind of thing you would be working towards. Because I do think that is a fun aspect of level 0 in this, is you're like, okay, I'm working towards this mech. And figuring out how that works in my opinion, and makes sense for your character. I like making a mech that fits the character, right? Or picking a license that fits the character, right? And so, yeah, at least for me, I find that quite fun. I could see a tertiary arm making a lot of sense for your engineer.
For me or Aqua?
For the engineer, for you.
Oh, okay.
A powered mechanical arm mounted on a bracket on your hard suit.
Oh.
They're powered and controlled using a neuron bridge that allow hard suits to respond to user input. Like it's like a little it's like a little extra arm that does shit for you.
Hell yeah.
Personal drone.
Does it do anything?
Small non-combat drones are a common sight in the field. They're fairly noisy and can fly about half a mile with good maneuverability before losing signal, relaying audio and visual information as they go. Yeah, it's a scout.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That makes a lot of sense. That is a very engineer get out.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Aqua, you all set up?
Well, so it already had some stuff on it. I don't know if it was from when I initially hit.
It might have been from when you initially did things, but you should be able to swap it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, I'm wondering what, because it's like a gear loadout. It has me with mobility hard suit, heavy signature.
Mobility hard suit makes a lot of sense for you because that gives you flight, like a jetpack.
Yeah. Which I'm like, maybe these things are okay as they are.
I mean, yeah.
And then camel cloth, wilderness survival kit, stims, light AC, heavy signature.
Yeah, I mean, up to you. The light AC is a melee weapon, so it's up to you whether or not that makes sense. And the stims could make sense. Same with the camo, but you aren't like much of a camo. Like that seems a little.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Like maybe I'll at least
Yeah,
check
you
out the
you can
camo.
swap out like one or two. You can keep it if you like it.
Yeah.
Up to you.
Sticks. That. I guess I'll that. Oh wait, what slot? Oh, pilot gear.
GMS core bonuses are very nice. Bonuses from this list are always available to pilots, regardless of licenses. Actually, don't remember how core systems work. I don't know if you get access to core systems yet. Mechanical.
See, is something like a flex suit, would that be in place of, say, the hard suit kind of thing? Or, like, where would I look for just the secondary gear slot?
Oh.
How do you have your layout?
Well, here, I should probably be sharing my screen. Might make it easy. So.
Just double checking.
Yeah, that's where you have your gear. Yeah.
So like.
If you click the. Let's see, where's that button? Oh wait. Actually. Click
Okay, yeah, core bonuses you don't get access to yet.
I usually have it like, I have the boxes here to help organize all that.
Oh, like this.
Oh, I remember
if that helps.
you.
Okay, so you can actually see the tags.
Wait, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can hover over it to see if it like replaces something or what have you. Hopefully that helps.
All right, so don't worry about the core bonuses yet. When you create a mech on CompCon, you will have a page that sort of lays out akin to, because I'll grab Everest, my Everest name. It will be akin to this. You can write operator notes if you want. You only need the general license. All Everest frames have these traits, so you don't have to worry about them. Okay. My Everest is going to be way tankier than yours, just because of the way I have my stats laid out. And when we get to the bottom, this is where all the other stuff comes into play. You will have a main weapon, a flex weapon, and a heavy weapon. Any weapons can go into these. These just describe what the maximum thing is. Main weapon, you'll have a certain number of things here. Heavy weapon, you will have more things in here because it adds also the heavy mounts. And then flex weapons are... You can either have 2 weapons that have the auxiliary tag or 1 main weapon in a flex mount. So feel free to start looking through those. For you, Ray, when you go to systems, turret drones.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
And turret drones cost 2 system points. I only have 7 system points, but I'm not spec'd out in systems. You will likely have 8, I think.
How do I check my system points? Okay, SP.
Yeah, the SP is right above the systems. Oh, I think it does say 6.
Mine says 6.
That's just because of the level you're at. So it would be 5 normally for you. You have 6 because of the level you're at. So you have 6 points that you can do things in. Obviously, you're going to be grabbing the turret drones. Makes a lot of sense for you. For Aqua, I highly recommend the Rapid Burst Jump Jet system.
Wait, what are we under?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the vents.
I think we
I was
went
still
ahead.
looking under gear. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Let me.
No, you're all good. This is in mech
Mech
creation.
Hangar?
Mech Hangar, yes. Mech Hangar, create new mech.
Okay.
There's never any image data for Everests because all Everests are unique and spec to the pilot.
Okay.
They all have the basic chest frame to them, but they even then are like added on or changed, etc. by the pilot. They use, the same basic arms and equipment. GMS, General Massive Systems, is the largest distributor of shit. And most of the, like, mechs you fight on the battlefield, most of the, like, average Joe sort of, like, mechs that blow up on reaching zero hull, they are made by GMS, or they're cobbled together from GMS systems.
Okay.
You are piloting, like, the best of the best of the basic right now.
Okay. I'm gonna look at what the template gave me for, like, a sniper kind of thing. I don't know if this would be, if I should just scrap it.
Yeah, I would. For equipment, I would just scrap everything that they have and start from scratch, so you can pick it all as you like.
So delete that.
Yeah, as with most Everest, base evasion 10. Or, sorry, base evasion 8, which makes a lot of sense. So beyond turret drones, it is entirely up to you. I could see manipulators making sense. They're interesting. You have to get creative with them becoming useful in combat, but they are useful. Arkoff used them.
Okay.
You might like the CompCon class assistant unit, but it's up to you.
Okay, let me see.
For Aqua, there's the Rapid Burst Jump Jet system and the Type 1 Flight system, which make a lot of sense for you.
Under system or flex mount, or what is that?
They would be under systems at the bottom.
Okay. And that's the CompCom class system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first one.
Should be, yeah. There's main weapon, flex weapon, heavy weapon, and then system at the bottom. And there's a bunch of, these are like different things your mech can be equipped with. There's, as we were talking about for Ray, there's drones. But there's also a flight system, a jump jet system. For my character, because I'm going tanky, I chose personalizations, which gives a little bit of HP. And I chose stable structure. No, I didn't choose. I swapped stable structure out for custom paint job, which is one of my favorite ones. I could see hex charges make sense for you. They're like frag grenades. If you're leaning into the engineer construction aspect of things, I'm a big fan of the projected shield. Gives you it gives you difficulty to hit a target, but it also gives that target difficulty to hit you.
Gotcha.
I have it on. I have that system on my mech, just because they're going to be in melee a lot, so I can very easily just name a person at a distance that I'm not fighting, and they just have disadvantage hit me, and I'm just ignoring them.
trying to decide between the regular assault rifle, Nexus.
Okay, so what benefits does the AI system give me?
My
drones?
Well, I mean, you have the drones and the AI system are different things.
Okay.
The drones are turret drones at the bottom, and then there's the CompCon class assistant unit, which is just something I thought would be interesting for you.
Oh, okay.
With the CompCon class assistant unit, you basically have a programmed AI that can take over the mech for a protocol, allowing your mech to act independently with its own set of actions that you determine. So your mech will follow basic courses of actions to the best of its ability while you do other things.
I think I like that. Yeah, because
it's something that can be done if you like
manipulator to fix something if I need to get out of my mech and fix something.
Mm-hmm.
With a little bit more finesse. I can stay in. I can do that while my mech defends me.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. And then I have 2 more points.
Armament, EV module, expanded compartment. I could see the rapid burst jump jet system making sense for you as well. I also think the projected shield is interesting for you.
You can fly.
I had a question regarding the description on the GMS Nexus Hunter Killer. So at the very end of the tags, it's saying that targets with no E defense count as having 8 E defense. Does that mean that like the target that you're trying to hit has more defense, or that they have
so
to
8
hit that
defense is
defense in order to
flat.
not be
8
hit?
defense is flat defense. Like that's the just general. So it's saying if something that you're trying to shoot does not come with an E defense tag, like doesn't have a specified E defense for it, it is the base DC for E defense, which is 8. So that's just like giving description. So for example, if you were to fire, so what smart means is it has self-guidance systems, right? So this is a like rockets or some sort of other hub where you like fire things out of, like darts.
It's in lieu of evasion kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, so you shoot, you hit E defense instead of evasion. E defense in most cases will be lower than a target's evasion.
Gotcha.
There are some enemies that like there's a thing called the Wasp that has like a 17 evasion, which is really fucking hard to hit in this game. And its E defense is like 6.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure, because I know you mentioned something about numbers not being very high, so I wasn't sure if 8 was like a really high number you'd have to hit, like
8 is so the base DC for anything is 10. So having an 8 DC, it's just telling you that like if you're firing at something that doesn't have an electronical signature can lock onto, it's just aiming.
Okay. Yeah, so basically trying to decide between this or like the basic assault rifle.
Both are very good for very different reasons. It kind of depends on what you want to go for. Like, for example, if you're going for like the strafing pilot type, you could go the Nexus Hunter Killer and the Missile Rack and just like rain hell down upon them, right? From above. Grab a rocket propelled grenade launcher and you're fucking like cooking.
Because I was trying to go with something where it was like that combination, since I was going with the dual sort of arms kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I shouldn't have like something for ranged attack and then a melee one for like close
It is
combat?
generally recommended to have at least a melee weapon. Even if you are not going to be melee, one of the best ways to do that is on your flex mount, choosing something like the thermal pistol or something that has the auxiliary tag, and then choosing the tack knife. Because the tactical knife has auxiliary as well, which means in your flex mount you can have a quick weapon, like a quick smaller ranged weapon, and a dagger, like a tactical blade. I actually have that exact setup for Adelaide. If I go back to Mech Hanger and go to the Adept Assistant, yeah, my flex mount has a tactical knife and a thermal pistol in it. That exact setup. I'm not set up for range.
Okay, so
the charge blade probably would be good to go with for my melee.
If you're going for more of a it could be like, right, if you can't think of anything else you want and you want to put it there, you can. It's kind of up to you. The charge blade does better as a main melee weapon.
Gotcha. Okay, so if I did the opposite kind of thing, like have that be the main weapon, then have it. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, if you want your main like charge blade as your melee weapon, and then go, especially because that's armor piercing, right? Like it's a very good weapon.
Yeah.
And then you go to your flex weapon, and you can take like, I mean, but that at that point, because you have a melee weapon already, you could take the thermal pistol and the pistol and just have 2 ranged weapons, and then a heavy weapon. And heavy weapon, there's also, for example, if you want the assault rifle, as you said earlier, you could go the assault rifle, and then on your back keep a heavy charged blade.
Yeah.
I don't think you have access to the Tempest Charge Blade. I think I do because I'm license level 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that one.
But that still would only be access on the heavy weapon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So while you think about that, Ray, what are you thinking setup wise?
let me see.
I'm gonna really quickly set up one for her. Like she would have had an Aval. She would have had an Everest at some point.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out which ones allow me to do my close combat stuff. Here we go. It didn't show it on the bigger one, but I can see it here now. So pistol, shotgun, and thermal pistol. Okay, cool. Let's see. So I get to select damage for my prototype weapon, right?
I believe so.
Let's see. And what's the difference?
They're just some very rare things will relate to a specific type. For example, there's there are specific enemies that if you hit with explosive, they take extra damage from it. There are specific enemies that if you hit with explosive, they take less damage from it. And it's to represent, like, because explosive is like a big AoE. So if like you do a big AoE next to something that has like an ass ton of armor, it might do half damage to it. Whereas if you do a big AoE, for example, I was running on the one shot, there were these units of soldiers in in like hard suits, right? That were like fighting the main mechs. And if no one had it, no one used it, but if someone tried to hit them with explosive damage, it would not have done half damage because it's hitting all of them at once, not just like hitting one of them, right? So
Right.
so explosion is really good. Explosive is generally AoE, and it's really good for groups. Energy can be really good for certain big tanky things that might not have defenses against energy weapons. There are certain enemies that take bonus damage from energy weapons. And then kinetic is your basic shit. Kinetic has the most reliable damage in most cases. Reliable being a tag, which means even if you miss, you still deal some damage. Really helpful for people who have fucking shit rolls.
Let's see. Okay, so heavy. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go ranged. I already forgot some of my abilities. Let's see.
It's all good. I'm just hooking my mech up with a big sword. Thermal pistol.
Trying to figure out if well, actually, yeah, just double pistols maybe.
Yeah, double pistols is pretty good.
One of them's a thermal pistol.
It can be very good. So this is just a little quick, like, mechanical thing. So one of the ways that you really, or one of the ways that you deal damage is you choose to either kind of go all out on something or you do a quick attack. And the way that the game differentiates this is it on every turn you either have 2 quick actions or 1 full assault action. Full assault means you can attack with 2 weapons, no matter which weapons they are, from any mounts. Quick attack, or a quick action attack, means you use 1 specific weapon from usually your main mount. Or a flex mount, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the kind of thing where like you can have like the 2 of them and you can go full dual wield with them, but very often you're going to have to use your full turn to do that. And this is where we touch on one extra special little thing, and this is where you can actually give your mech heat to take 1 extra action per turn. And that's like a whole mechanic. So it kind of gives everyone like mini action surge with a cost.
With my ability, I can use just ranged weapons close up, right? In melee?
I believe so. Either that or you're speccing into it and you'll have that very soon.
Okay. Okay. And we don't get any mods at our level, right?
Any mods?
Yeah, it says no mod installed.
No, no, you do not get mods yet.
Okay.
It is something that you will be able to do later, but...
Is there an attack action if a creature is close to you?
Yes. So it's called Overwatch. There's a tracer to it. The way it functions is there are a lot of things that give reactions. You have actually a reaction with your turrets. So when you or an ally hits within 10 range of you, your turret, you can use your reaction to automatically fire a turret. So you actually have one of the best like reaction uses in the game. There's another one that's like returning fire that Zan had in the one shot, where if you get hit with a ranged attack, you can shoot back at them. But in general, if you don't have any of those, and you don't have a melee weapon that specifies longer than one range, when something comes within one range of you, you can hit it with any weapon.
Gotcha.
Or leaves your range. You can also do the same thing. So it's if something comes within one unit of you or leaves that unit, that is when you can make a reaction attack, basically. If you have something, for example, I chose the heavy mount weapon, Tempest Charge Blade, which y'all don't have access to, but what it does is it gives me a threat range of 2. So for that weapon, anything that comes within 2 range of me, I can hit.
Okay. I chose a rifle for my large weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
It is fine. It is. You do have a large weapon rack, so you can equip any large weapon to it, or heavy weapon as they're called. Weapons are split between main, auxiliary, heavy, and super heavy. Auxiliary weapons you can fit 2 in a flex mount. Main weapons can take a flex mount or a main mount. Heavy weapons require a heavy mount or a main mount and a flex mount. Super heavy weapons require a heavy mount and another mount of some kind. So you could choose like the thermal lance or the howitzer.
It doesn't work with my other ability, does it?
No, neither of them are QCB.
Okay.
If you want to go for... You could choose if you scroll up. Do you have a melee weapon?
I kind of went with the charge blade here because I wasn't sure if I should just go with the melee here. But
yeah,
if melee actually works better in the heavy
Yeah,
mount,
I was going to say, it makes sense. So for you, choosing a heavy melee weapon... So that one actually swaps it out. You can choose heavy charged blade.
Where are you? Okay, heavy charge blade.
For anyone looking.
And then I switch this one out with...
Holy shit, I just saw it. Connor, hello, welcome, Raiders. Just raided with a party of 50. I'm glad I looked back at my thing. Freeze, this is the fake police. No, I ain't fucking... I ain't call no cops. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. The cops. Kidding me. But welcome, everyone. I am running Aqua and Ray through making characters in Lancer. Ray was just currently deciding between some big weapons, and I have a license level 2 character that I was like, you know what, I'll make their Everest alongside everyone. So I built kind of a, surprisingly good, but still shitty Everest version of her main mech, which I will show off for anyone who wants to see. But welcome, Raiders. Hello.
I got my stuff.
if in the future you want to check out more Lancer TTRPG content, I'll be doing this not this Tuesday, but on Tuesdays from now on. Right after, I guess timing wise does work out that way. Right after Eve of Ruin. Otherwise, I will be. This is going to be our difficult game slot moving forward as schedules are changing. But for now, enjoy the Lancer content. This is my White Witch, the Adept Assistant. I love her. She has. I built her to be very defensive, and melee primarily spec'd. But I'm very happy with her. I believe we were actually reaching the end of picking systems and stuff for y'all.
Yeah, for Aqua. Aqua still needs to pick some of their systems, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aqua.
so I was trying to decide between like hex charges, like if I should do projected shield, because like I do have that melee aspect.
Projected shield can be very good, especially if you're going for like defensive or you want to keep ranged things off of you. For a pilot, I do highly recommend the Type 1 flight system or the rapid burst jump jet system.
Okay,
or
that was
both.
going to be my next question, because it was one of those. Well, aren't I supposed to just have one right now to start? I can only select one system.
Nope. So if you look at the top of the systems over on the right, it'll say a number of system points that you have. You can and each system costs a certain number of points, and you can have as many points as that costs. So I believe you have 6 or 5 right now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you should be able to actually 6. So you should actually be able to equip a flight system or the flight system and then another system if you'd like. The Type 1 flight system, you may choose to count yes. So it can be good to have both. The Type 1 flight system allows you to fly whenever you want, but if you stay in the air, it does have heat.
It takes heat.
It does,
and
heat,
that makes sense.
And that makes sense. It is very good. It is slightly better, and for that reason costs 1 more than the Rapid Burst Jump Jet system. The Rapid Burst Jump Jet system is for like if you want to have a little bit of flight or a little bit of mobility, but not quite commit to the full flight system, right? So the Rapid Burst Jump Jet system is for my mecha breakers in the chat. The Rapid Burst Jump Jet system is like the Seraph, that like the fucking flying around with the little wings and then has to like land, versus the Type 1 flight simulator are like the 2 fucking jet mechs, right? That zoom around above the battlefield for the whole fucking combat. So it's up to you which one you want. It can be good to have both. It is generally people only have one.
I think I'll just flight.
Yep, flight system makes sense. In the one shot I ran, Zan had the flight system and Arkoff had the jump jet system.
It's a paint job.
Custom Paint Job is really good. People sleep on Custom Paint Job, and I know why. It's because Custom Paint Job is a random roll. I would never be caught dead sleeping on Custom Paint Job, but that's also partially because I tend to roll high on my D6s. So for me, rolling the 6 is like, all right, let me.
I was looking at that too. I was just like,
I could take a picture of it. I just roll the D6 and roll the 6. Literally just now. I was like, it's uncanny.
I'm like hit or miss though, so I probably shouldn't. Oh,
I cannot fucking believe that shit. Okay, so I was like, come on, this isn't weighted, is it? Roll a 3 on my second one.
Oh, that's a 6. No, that's a 2. No, that's a 6. It's a 5.
But yeah, I really like it, and it keeps proccing. So every time you would go to 0 HP, you take structure damage. You roll on the structure damage table, and then you go back to full HP. You mark 1 structure off. Most mechs have 4 structure. You can spend a full turn in a repair kit to fully repair yourself. You generally have 3 or 4. My lady has 5. Because and 5 and 16 HP. So she is she has no armor to start, but every time she gets hit with any damage, she gains armor. Like that's what that mech does. So she is a fucking bulwark, right?
Nice.
But yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can kind of go about how you want to set that up in that case. I really, if you want to go a little bit tankier, you know, you can always grab the like customizations, which gives you a little bit of extra HP. Everests have slightly more HP and slightly less evasion than a White Witch, which is why if I pull up my Everest, I have 19 HP versus if I go to my White Witch, I only have 16. That's just how the math hands up. But either way, I have personalizations, which is plus 2 HP. So if you're going a tanky build, almost all tank builds have personalizations just to get that extra 2 HP in there.
Yeah. Attempted. But also the Ava module.
The EVA module is I actually, so my White Witch has that.
Yeah. Because I like the underwater aspect too.
That is like it is actually not the space aspect, it is the underwater aspect. That is the reason I got the EVA system for the thing is I was just, for some reason I was like, I have a feeling I'm gonna need to go underwater at some point.
I feel like that might be more reliable than as much as I like the idea of the custom paint job.
And this is why people drop custom paint job, is because other things are more reliable. I would never be caught dead dropping custom paint job, but that's just because I love it so much. The idea of in combat sometime, I've never gotten to play, so who knows? I could be shit at this game. But for the idea for me is getting hit and saying, scratch my paint, returning 1 HP is so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. And it's nothing against that module. It's more that I'm not reliable.
You're low enough systems, and you're low enough systems as well that it's not worth it.
Well, it's more just more that like my rolls may not proc it, you know, kind of thing. Like I am not consistently rolling 6s.
I cannot fucking believe it. 6 with the one test. That's so funny.
Yeah. Not all of us are blessed like that. So.
What's that? Streamer luck, as Ray calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it streamer luck.
But also too, like
all the time with this fucking Monster Hunter bullshit.
I'm currently using all my streamer luck and channeling it into my Pokemon pulls. For those in chat, non-humble brag, I just got my 3rd grade IV shiny starter in Soul Silver, and I am not ashamed of bragging about that. But yeah, Aqua, you feeling good with your systems and your weapons?
I mean, I suppose I was going to pass by to see if any of it looked like, oh no, this probably wouldn't work as well.
Yeah, run them by me real quick.
Okay, so for my loadout, I've got my primary charge blade, and then an assault rifle for my flex. My heavy is the anti-material rifle. Systems are the compound class assistant unit.
Is the AMR, really quickly on weapons, is the AMR a heavy weapon?
It is.
It is a heavy weapon. That I will say, you do have. Oh no, wait, because you have the charge blade in the mail in that one. Actually, no, that's a pretty good setup. That's actually a pretty good setup. There is a potential argument for swapping out the assault rifle for a couple smaller weapons, but it's not necessary, right? Especially because of the AMR. The one thing about the AMR, because it gives you the range and the damage you want, so you won't need the assault rifle. But the one thing about the AMR that you have to be careful with is the fact that it has ordnance, right? So it can only be fired after the user moves or takes... only be fired before the user moves or take any other actions. Except protocols. So, like, you have to fucking just sit there and fire in order to use that weapon.
I was looking at it as a sniping kind of situation. Almost.
Yeah, no, and if you want to lean into that, which makes sense for, like, you know, pilot range, staying, like, above things and that kind of stuff, like, yeah, if you want to go with the... I think AMR makes a lot of sense. It's just, with flight, be aware that, like, if you were to fire your AMR rifle, you have to fire it, then move.
Oh, yeah, no, that's sort of how I imagined it, because it'd be like, you know, pick your spot, you know, fire, and then get the hell out or and go into melee range. And
I was wondering why Thero took the howitzer, but looking at it, he took it because it has blast radius 2 and arcing.
Yeah, I was looking at that as well, and I was like, I don't know.
The AMR is more of a, like, the precision fire shot, versus the howitzer is the take out that entire general area, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that is part of the joy of this game, is like, damn, there really is a lot of ways that you can spec it. You can take the same mech 3 different times, and none of them are the same.
Stevenson, fire warning shot. Sir, this is a grenade launcher. Potato.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Give him the missile launcher.
Yeah.
For mine, really quickly, I chose what would be Addie's, what would have been Addie's, or the Alchemists, as her pilot call sign is, but what would have been her Everest before swapping to the White Witch. She has a Tempest Charge Blade, super heavy melee weapon on her heavy and primary mount, and then she has a tactical knife and a thermal pistol. So pretty minimal equipment wise.
Yeah. The other thing I was debating on for my heavy was the thermal lance.
Thermal lance is very cool. Very cool.
Because at least, like, if I'm looking at it correctly, so it says, like, line. Basically, it's going to hit anything.
It's everything in that line. Yes, correct. Okay. It is an AoE.
Yeah. So I was also debating that instead of the aim.
Hey, the thermal lance is very good. It does a little bit. It has a little bit less potential damage than them.
Yeah.
And but here are the other positives about it. It doesn't have ordnance, meaning you can move and then fire. It does not have reloading, which means you can fire it pretty much however much you want.
And just take the 2 heat.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have inaccurate like the howitzer does. But it does have the heat too. So that is like... if you're using it, you have to balance your heat.
That's what's... Okay, so you might have gone over it, but again, it was a lot of information.
Yes, a lot of information all at once.
How
heat
does
is something
heat get handled?
Yeah, so if you go to your mech at the top, the way heat works, and every mech has a different heat capacity. Your heat capacity changes on your engineering skill. So I have a +1 engineering, which means I get +1 to my heat capacity. By base, the Everests have a 7 heat capacity. When you... so this is where the other mechanic I kind of brought up. There is the ability called overburning or overcharging. It is the action surge thing. The first time you do it in a scene, it just costs 1 heat, and you get 1 extra action on your turn. 1 extra quick action, specifically. If you do it a second time, it's 1d3. If you do it a third time, it's 1d6. If you reach above, not your heat capacity, if you reach above your heat capacity, then you have, then you start to overheat, and you take a point of stress. Heat is the HP of stress. HP is the, like, hull is the HP of structure. Okay. If that makes sense. If you ever go to 0 structure, 0 stress, you're out of the scene.
Yeah.
So it's like the alternate HP stat. It's more of a resource than a stat, but there are enemies that can heat up your mech. So it can be a little bit of a stat, but it is in general, it is more of a resource. Some enemies will do tech attacks. I don't tend to have a lot of tech attack enemies unless you're going against very tech like people. Tech attacks are something that is very difficult, and I generally reserve for lancers because I think it's cooler to have lancers that are hackers. And to make other hackers, enemy hackers, more rare, it makes them feel more scary and dangerous. Plus, I like heat being more of a resource than a secondary HP pool people get paranoid about.
Okay. I think I'll go ahead and do the Lance only for, being that my first one and playing Lancer.
Yeah, no, I think it makes a lot of sense. But the heat capacity for the thermal lance, that's actually a very nice trade-off. And it's a flat 2 every time.
Yeah.
It's not a roll.
Yeah.
Some good shit.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, I guess if that looks
right. The way that attacks work for line attacks is you actually make an attack roll against everything in that line.
Nice. Okay.
So it increases your chances of hitting as well. The trade-off being okay, so the way you can kind of math it out is it would take 2 first scene heats to get 2 extra attacks. So as long as you have 2 enemies in that line, it is always worth it to fire it.
Because I've seen plenty of mech anime.
Yeah, the big fucking charge laser. That is absolutely what that is. This is it's not quite the Shinji loading up on the side of the mountain with the big charged sniper rifle.
That's a cannon.
That's a later thing you can get. But yeah.
Like the big blast thing from Big O.
Yeah, the big blast from Big O, I think is a really, really good
I love Big O.
example of it. Big O!
Showtime. Anyway.
That was my mech anime growing up. So
fair enough.
Oh my god. Sorry, when people say growing up, I'm like, oh, I was older when I saw that. God dang it. I was into Macross and Gundam, and then eventually when it came out, Ava and
hell yeah. I like Zoid as well.
All that stuff. Oh, that's right. And there's Zoid.
Zoid is great.
Voltron earlier on. And...
Yep. I mean, if you watch the Lancer one-shot, Thera was playing a Zoid.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just he decided to flavor his whole thing as Zoid, and I was like, hell yeah. But yeah, y'all feel good on your equipment? Oh yeah, you wanted to go over systems really quick, Aqua.
Yeah, go over systems.
You had the flight system. Anything else?
Oh, I went with so you had mentioned the ComCon class. I took that, and then the flight system, and then I'm going with the Ava module, the EVA.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Because it's I'm looking at I guess more mobility.
Mm-hmm. So you said the not the EVA, the CompCon class assistant unit. I thought that made sense for Ray.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure who you were talking about.
Yeah, my bad. I think that makes sense for Ray because it allows the mech to be controlled while Ray's not inside of it, which makes a lot of sense for an engineer, right?
Yeah, I was
I think you could benefit a little bit more from maybe honestly, the smoke charges or the hex charges could be good for you.
Yeah.
Deploy the mines.
I was thinking hex charges.
Hex charges, because that you're flying over, you could just drop bombs.
Yep, exactly. Okay, I'll go with those. All right.
And I can just be hanging off the side of your mech trying to fix it while my mech is doing its thing.
Exactly.
You just have to be within 50 units of it, right?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so.
It's crazy. All right. Hell yeah, we got some mechs. We are going to really briefly go over some of the cool stuff about this which is the later mechs that we. So you guys can kind of start thinking about what it is you want to work towards. I'm going to.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, these are so cool. Get ready for this. Is the coolest part of the game. This is my favorite part. Where I'm ready to show y'all as soon as we get back from a really quick break because I have to go to the bathroom again.
Yeah.
Stretch your legs, eat your water.
Dum dum.
There you go. Eat your legs, stretch your water.
Eat your water,
Yo.
stretch your legs.
I'm gonna stop streaming then.
Well, here we are. All of us
Yeah.
back once again. We return. We are gonna medium quickly run through the mech types in the base book, as well as the different manufacturers. I probably won't read all of these.
Yeah.
Like all of the lore for all of it in detail. You can
could be
yourself.
Something that we save for another day.
This could happen, when we maybe perhaps test it out and level y'all up after it, when you can choose which one you want to go for. Maybe you'll have to, maybe people will have to stick around to see when we do that. But we can really quickly just touch on them. We have IPS North Star, which is was made between two different big corpo companies. They're highly connected with a group called the Albatross, which I actually think is very, very cool. They're basically they're basically, how to put this, pro bono anti-corporate military. Albatross is very cool. IPS North Star kind of supplies to everyone. They want to be portrayed as we supply to the good guys, but they kind of supply to everyone.
Yeah.
But they are probably the biggest or the closest evolution of the Everest, if you like the Everest and want something that's similar-ish, or is more kind of classic in some way, that IPS North Star is your way. That gives you some bonuses. We will go with that. Will happen another time. This is the Blackbeard. This is a big, aggressive, striking mech with big combustible weapons. Here is its picture. It is size 1, so classic size, but it is meant to deal with a lot of stuff. Its main thing is grappling, so it can grapple targets with a big grappling hook and pull them towards it and pull it towards them. Very cool. Nice. It has a lot of cool bonuses and stuff like that you get access to later on. This is the Drake. This is the military backbone, size 2. So this is big. Not quite colossal size, but it is big. And it is big, classic, armor, not armored core. Kind of armored core. I was thinking more Full Metal Panic style mechs.
Yeah.
Big fortress mech. It has a fortress protocol, lots of big machine guns, missiles, a bunker, a shield, that kind of stuff. We have a Lancaster, which is the party bus. That's just what it's known as. It's the mecha party bus. If you want to play a mech game but you don't want to actually play a mech, you want to play a tank, you play the Lancaster. There's the Nelson. This is the gotta go fast mech. This is it. There are ways to make the Everest faster than it, but only in bursts. This is the I want to get around the battlefield now mech. Yeah. And they have it only starts at 6, but they have this is it. Engage drive. For the rest of the scene, Skirmisher allows you to move 4 spaces at a time instead of 1 space. So you quadruple your speed when you use that.
Ooh.
Dang.
You go.
Goodness.
Fast.
It might be for my character, but
it could be. Nelsons are very good for pilots, so it could be for Aqua's character though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have the Raleigh, which is one of the melee mechs. This is actually really good for QCBs because their main thing that they get is a QCB. When you reload any weapon, this weapon can be fired as a free action. It is the gunslinger mech. It uses small weapons and melee. That is the go-to. It's very cool. And I believe lastly we have the... Oh, no, I forgot about the Tortuga. Tortuga is kind of similar to the one above. Size 2, big tanky motherfucker. It's a little bit more focused on damage output than the other one, but it does have a lot of defense capabilities. And this one, lastly, the Vlad. If I were to do or IPSN, I would do Vlad. The Vlad is the 4-armed melee mech. This thing, our armor 2 out the gate, this thing is a beast. Big lance, caltrops, nail gun, really cool. This is close to my favorite. I really love Smith Shimano. Probably my favorite aesthetically. Smith Shimano is the Evangelion type mechs, right? They are very focused on a lot of all of them do kind of unique things, and the like flavor of them is that they blend the borders between technology and humanity. This is their classic. This is the Black Witch. Thick mech thighs save lives. Like, god damn.
Nice.
Put a mech in a full BDSM outfit, why don't you? Oh, wooga! Gynoids. But that is the Black Witch. She is a gravity control mech. So she is AoE controlled denial. A very, very good battlefield control mech. We have the Death's Head, which is one of their sniper mechs. There are a few other sniper mechs, but Smith Shimano makes some of the best ones. There's the Duskwing, which the Duskwing is, I think, the first size 1/2 mech we've come across. So this is the first exosuit mech. And I believe it's the only thing... Yes, traits. It can hover when it moves. This is the only base mech that can do this.
Oh.
It just floats. It just gets to fly around.
I like that.
You don't get it until like when you get the actual mech hull itself, like when you get the actual frame. But like, it's so nice for fly builds. Like, it's really good. And it's very evasive, very it doesn't have, it has jack shit for HP and no armor, but evasion 12 as well as other abilities to make it harder to hit you and go invisible. This is the ninja mech. Ninja mech.
Nice.
Actually, no, I lied. Well, yes, I lied. I did not lie. That was the ninja mech. This is the samurai mech. This is the SSC's answer to the Vlad. They are the stealth version of a good melee fighter. Something I didn't say about the Vlad is the Vlad punches up. It counts as a bigger mech than it does for anything it wants to do. For this one is more about skirmishing, getting around the battlefield, shooting things, flash charges, big rail rifle, shock knife, that kind of stuff. Could actually be good for yours, Aqua.
Yeah.
However,
Hell yeah.
I have a...
Monarch.
I don't know why. The Monarch is the artillery. This is the equivalent of the missiles and ordnance. Ready to mount ground to ground, ground to air, air to orbit. Monarch size often leads people to underestimate its ability because it's a size 2, so people think it's like, you know, really slow. But this is the jet of the mech, right? Ooh. Javelin rockets, missiles,
nice.
NHP. Okay. Like, now this is the artillery. Stabilizer mod. Any launcher or cannon gets +5 in ordnance. Like, it is built for firing at things from very far away, and that is why people underestimate it.
Yeah.
This is my bitch. This is the SSC Morning Cloak. It's not the one I chose for Addy. Addy uses a White Witch, which is from one of the supplement modules. But the Morning Cloak is who I would choose if I was just gonna choose the basic and I wasn't choosing a goblin. The Morning Cloak is Dancer of the Boreal Valley, the mech. This is the duelist mech. It can teleport around the battlefield, which is just so fucking cool. And it deals more damage to enemies that are alone. Which is part of the reason why I don't choose it for the current build I have, because I don't want to be alone for that build, and this benefits from being alone. This is like the solo hunter build. I think this is the last one of Smith Shimano's base, which is the Swallowtail. It's kind of like support sniping, if that makes sense, right? Like, it has some good ranged abilities, but it is slightly more leaned towards like tech attack stuff. This actually could be good for Ray, because this has a lot of tactical abilities. It has a lot of stealth, Lotus Projector, Master Light, retractable profile. It has a lot of like NHP and AI abilities and that kind of thing. So it is very, very well suited if you're going like an engineering tech type mech. And I believe it comes auto-equipped with an extra set of little hands.
Aw. Yay. High fives.
Now we get to the fucking... as for lack of a better term, the Reddit of it all. These are the Reddit mechs, right? Like, Horus, TLDR on Horus. Horus is the... Because I didn't really TLDR too much on SSC, and we can go into that later, but SSC is the, like, super, 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 super high-tech, like, they're the scientists who just happen to be making mechs. Horus is, like, a bunch of mech Redditors got together and started making mechs together. It does not have a, like, real hierarchy in the same sense. They tend to fund separatist or anarchist organizations and revolutions across the outer space. They have a bunch of weird shit going on, and all of their stuff is experimental. And this is the AI mechs, right? All of these mechs have an AI that is trapped inside and is forced to do their bidding. Congratulations, pilot. You've been chosen. Access is yours as long as you can keep it. You don't get given a Horus mech in the same way. Oh, Horus, you are too popular. You're not wrong. Horus. The weird thing about Horus is you don't get mechs in the classic sense. You get basically like access to their specs. They will pick people out specifically and send them like really cryptic documents and shit to like lead them to it. This is the Matrix of the mechs.
Nice.
They get a lot of weird abilities. Baylor. This is a mech that has a bunch of little nanites that like eat everything around it.
Yeah.
If the NHP ever gets out, it just wants to kill everything around it. Like, that's it. It's all it wants to do. Is just kill everyone and everything. Goblins. This is the most popular mech in all of Lancer. One of my favorites. Not necessarily my favorite, but one of my favorites. Probably second. This is the little shit of a mech. It's an exosuit. You can actually see the person. That's the person. There are their arms. Like, it's the smallest mech by a significant margin. It's just the little guy of a mech.
I just posted a sticker of him.
Yeah, it's the fucking guy. You get to do a bunch of really weird shit with it. The main thing that they do is hack into other people, and this might be really good for you, Ray. They hack into other people's systems and take control of other people's mechs.
Oh.
They're very funny. There is a variant on it called the Kobold that does the same thing, but its main gimmick is digging around the map.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have my AI mech doing its own thing, and then I can just jump into someone else's mech and just like, okay, I'm gonna just take this.
Exactly. That is one of the ways to kind of do it. And that is actually like one of the routes that a lot of people go with the goblin is because when you're controlling someone else's mech, your goblin is autonomous, and so it usually just stays there unless you have that system that you have that allows you to just kind of do what you want with it, where you can the goblin can act on its own and you can still do your thing.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
This is the
Very
Gorgon.
nice.
This is the Gorgon. Do you like fireworks? Do you like light shows? This is the stun gun mech. Their whole thing is basically locking people down and locking other people's systems down with a bunch of like weird inputs and that kind of thing.
Okay.
They do have a drone as a part of one of their systems that they get.
They get a little guy.
Oh yeah, the AI is called Scylla, and these ones just want to cause havoc, I'm pretty sure. Moving on to
Just
the
Scylla little guy.
little Scylla little guy. Oh, this is the Hydra. The Hydra is intentionally dismembers itself. It has a bunch of little pieces that come off that are all controlled autonomously.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
It's
I'm
very
on
cool.
board.
Like this is the drone mech. Puppet Master
Give me
is
that
one of their
one.
abilities.
I want that one.
Ghoul Nexus, yeah. Orochi drones. Orochi drones, one of their main things. Your mech contains powerful integrated drone companions. And it has a bunch of different type of drones that you can use.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, if you want to write it down, it makes sense for you. Hydra. Makes a lot of sense. And here it is. Castigate the enemies of the Godhead. This is the Manticore. Its main gimmick is right here. Castigate the enemies of the Godhead. When you rest or perform a full action, you can push the Manticore into unstable castigation state or bring it out of one. In this state, the Manticore explodes immediately when destroyed due to damage or reactor meltdown, vaporizing and instantly killing you and any other passengers. Characters within 2 range must succeed on an agility save or take 8d6 damage. On a success, they 8d6, a fireball in this game. On a success, they take half damage. Which is still going to be like 15-20 damage. This only takes place if you are physically present in the Manticore. It takes you out with it. That's its main gimmick. I've had a Manticore character concepted for quite some time that is just a bunch of flash clones of the same person that get the brains spliced together after they explode every time. That's really its whole thing. The Minotaur is the quadruped mech. I believe this is... Oh yeah, this is the one that literally can lock people into mazes. Like their systems into mazes. So they can literally see a different reality than the one you're experiencing.
That's pretty amazing, really.
This one, Pharaoh really liked the flavor of. This is the sniper mech. You are shooting someone with a gun that does not exist yet. They open a like little miniature paracausal blink gate that is connected to sometime in the future when they invent this gun that can shoot back into time, and then it shoots back through this hole.
That's so fucking...
It's so stupid, but I love it so much.
Oh my god. It's just like, no one knows what it looks like, but it does shoot you.
It does shoot you. I shot you 100 years from now. This is the villains of the setting. Harrison Armory, superior by design. Villains in the sense that they're the largest corpo state. They're the, like, classic villain in any Armored Core game. They're the heavily funded, heavily military, big suits, big weapons, chunky. I overwhelm them with firepower. The Barbarossa. The first size 3 mech we've gotten. Size fucking 3. Armor 2. Apocalypse Rail is the name of its main system. This thing shoots a fucking rail cannon twice the size of most other mechs. To put into perspective, that is a person on top, which means the goblin comes up to maybe this thing's shin.
little gremlin.
This is the Genghis. This is their only. It is size 1. This is one of their smaller mechs. This is the fire mech. This is the burn everything with fire mech. It's immunity to burn, and it can just fucking tear through anything. Expose power cells. You can clear heat with it by burning enemies, that kind of thing. And your later things, you get a plasma thrower. I really like the name of its Agni class. Like Agni Kai, Agni class. Back to size 2, we have the Eastcander. Do you want to punch mechs? Do you want to be a monk that is also a mech? Do you want to be a monk mech? This is how you monk mech.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want monks that use mines? Because that is
monk mech?
a mine monk mech. It has a gravity gun and a stub cannon. It has a bunch of like weird little gravity repulsor field mines and that kind of shit. But otherwise, it just gets in your fucking face. This is their only size half mech. This is their smaller mech. It's still almost twice the size of the goblin. And it has armor 2 on a size 1 half mech. This is the little fucking tank that could. It also counts as one size larger whenever it's grappling something. This thing is like... Activate Aegis. This is like... Have you ever made a halfling barbarian?
Yes.
This.
Gotcha.
It's like a halfling barbarian in full plate. The Saladin, this is one of the coolest designs on a mech. They are allowed to go full firepower because they have a built-in shield generator. So they are like one of the best offensive defensive options that you can get. Immunity to shredded, characters can use it for hard cover, warp shield, like this thing is... this is actually the mech that the White Witch was brought in to deal with. Like, they designed my character's mech to deal with these mechs because of how much of a menace they are.
Gotcha.
They designed my mech to be able to actually just handle that one. Because they are hooked. And I believe... Oh, and we got a couple more. This is the Sherman. This is their classic mech. The classic Harrison Armory frame. Any station, any nation, there is almost always a Sherman that is owned. Vaughn, it does not surprise me at all that Harrison Armory mechs are your thing. And I mean that in a good way. The Harrison has access to, like, lower versions of anything that the others have, right? So it has the rail cannon, it can have a lot of the, like, a lance, NHPs, like, it has access to a lot of stuff. This is go wide, not specify. I like the
colors a lot.
I do like the colors. It's the big jack of all trades mech. The Tokugawa, this is their new mech. This is their answer to SSC. This is their most highly advanced mech that Harrison has. They are an energy weapon build, basically. Energy melee weapon build. This is their big melee mech. And that brings us to the end of the mechs. We may check out some of the other ones. I may run through some of the alternates, because like they're in a lot of the supplements, they give you like an alternate frame. Like it's the same mech, but it has like slightly different abilities. Or like I was talking about the kobold versus the goblin, where they have a lot of the same stats, but they have some slight changes and that kind of thing. So we might go over that kind of thing a little bit off stream, but having an idea of what they want to work towards. I think the next time I pull y'all back into Lancer, I might pull someone else in, you know, if we want. But I might run y'all through a combat.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
You know, little mini one shot. But I think that's something to look forward to when we move this to Tuesdays moving forward.
Yeah, Tabletop Tuesdays.
Tabletop Tuesdays. TTRP Tuesdays. But thank you all for being here. And thank you all for stopping in, for whatever raiders stayed around. Thank you to my lovely co-hosts as usual. And I think they're still continuing over there. So I'm going to send y'all over to Skelly.
Yeah.
We were talking about Lancer. It has to be this. So I'm gonna raid /raid skeletal alpha, but the raid message is castigate the enemies of the Godhead.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to type that out.
I will type it out. Don't worry. And some people will know it. Of the God. Castigate the enemies of the Godhead. Alright, y'all.
Go ahead and post that so people can copy and paste it and get ready for it.
Posted. Give y'all a second to copy it, but again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate anyone who stuck around. I appreciate y'all doing this, and yeah, y'all have a good time. Oh no, it's doing the thing where it,
oh, I pinned it.
Yeah. The pinning is blocking me from getting it to open.
Apologies.
No, it's okay. It is all good. So we're just gonna wait it out. I'm just gonna hang out here while the raid. Oh, got it. Nope.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Okay. I know how to stream.
I fucked up everything. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just don't know how to. I'm going to
chaos.
Unpin the specific. Oh no, it doesn't. It's not doing that now anymore. Okay.
Monday Mayhem.
I fucked up everything wrong.
Oh, I used unraid. That's why.
I
don't know how to do this. Okay.
That's not very raid-like behavior.
Yeah, that's not that sucks. What the fuck was that?
Goes.
There we go. Fixed it this time. All right. Copy the castigate the enemies of the Godhead, and we'll see y'all later, raiders.
Yeah.
Later.